And then, just for clarification purposes, section 1.16B reads, no amendment to this act by the City Council pursuant to the Home Rule powers granted by Chapter 35 of Title 36 of the OCGA shall be enforceable except upon ratification of such amendment by the registered voters of the city at a referendum held by the governing authority of the city and upon certification of the results of such referendum by the Secretary of State. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
That's true. And this is, here again, this is the part of the charter that the county said was not legal. And so it is, because of the litigation, instead of maintaining this in the charter, we're going to remove it because that's how the county says that we should run our city. So we are going ahead and changing the charter to be in line with what they say the law should be on it. So that's what we're doing.
And no changes to this ordinance since the first read, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we have a public hearing component, 10 minutes for those in favor, 10 minutes for those opposed. So at this point, I will open the public hearing for anyone who would like to speak in favor of ordinance 2026-05-163. Is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor? Hearing none, I will go ahead and close the public hearing for those that would like to speak in favor of ordinance 2026-05-163. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition of ordinance 2026-05-163? All right, Mr. Hughes.
Yeah, my name is Steve Hughes. I live at 413 Four Seasons Court in Decula. For the benefit of the public who might watch the YouTube video later on, I want them to understand just exactly what this is doing. And I want to read section 116 that you just read. B, no amendment to this act by the City Council pursuant to the Home Rule powers granted by Chapter 35 of Title 36 of the of the Official Code of Georgia shall be enforceable except upon ratification of such amendment by the registered voters of the city at a referendum held by the governing authority of the city and upon certification of the results of such referendum by the Secretary of State. Earlier, I spoke about how the city of Lawrenceville did an annexation in which it gave the citizens the right to vote. In previous conversations on social media and your public statements, you have criticized the challenge, the constitutional challenge to the Mulberry Charter, saying this is an attempt to thwart the will of the people to overturn the vote which they cast. And yet here we are on May the 21st, 2026, 2 years to the day, when we had a vote. We had the opportunity to express our will. And the citizens voted, even though they were given a charter which violates the Constitution of the state of Georgia and is illegal. Even though this whole effort is an attempt to avoid a ruling by the courts on this very issue. You choose to deny the people the right to vote in a referendum which the original charter put in place. This is what the people approved on May the 21st, 2024. And now you want to take away that right. And I think that it's wrong. I think the whole thing has been a deception. As it was said in the court case in Fulton County, there was a fraud committed upon the voters. They were deceived. They were told that the city could, that there was no constitutional problem with the city. In town hall meeting after town hall meeting, I heard Representative F. Strachan make this statement. Nowhere has it ever been proven, any court has ever ruled that the city-like form of government is unconstitutional. And he would look at me and he says, and anybody that tells you any difference is telling you a lie. Look it up. Go back to the record. It's there. You were sitting there. Well, what Representative F. Strachan said that day was the truth. No court has ever ruled. But I grew up watching Perry Mason. Perry Mason, he would go up there and they would swear somebody and say, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Well, what Representative F. Strachan did that day is he told the truth, but he didn't tell the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Because the whole truth is, the reason why no court has ever ruled on the constitutionality of the city-like form of government is because it's never had the opportunity. Never could Representative F. Strachan could have imagined that challenge would come through a bill that he drafted, patterned after the city of Peachtree Corners, who commissioned a study in 2016. And that study, they paid for, came back and said, there's a problem with the city-like form of government. They were warned in 2024 in February before it was ever approved. Right there before the committee. There is a historic problem this body is aware of. And yet they chose to give it to us anyway. I know that you're going to vote to deny the people the right to vote on this issue. But I want to stand up. I can't be silent. I want to stand up and say that what you have done, while it is legal, is not morally right. There is a difference between those two principles. Legal doesn't mean it's right. It just means it's the law. And that changes from day to day. So, as Forrest Gump would say, that's all I've got to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes.